So let
Yeah.
me ask you this question. You get back to the United States, and we're going to switch topics here a little bit. You get back to the United States, you're stationed in far upstate New York, Plattsburgh Air Force Base. At this point, it's not just me. It's you've got another son, Brett, 2 years younger than me. And then at some point you find out your wife has, you're on the fast track in the Air Force. What were you, a captain at the time? Major?
Yeah, I was a captain, nearly a major.
Nearly a major. You're in your, what are you, about 30, 31, something like that, 32?
Yeah, 30, 33, somewhere in there.
And you find out your wife has advanced breast cancer. So
Yeah.
what, tell us when you first got that news at such a young age with two young boys, kind of what that was like and how you ended up working through that.
Well, Brett was born in the 24th of October up in Plattsburgh. And I went up to see him, and he had the skinniest legs in the world, okay? It was kind of embarrassing. So I said, cover up his legs, Linda. Anyway, she covered up his legs, and then my friend saw him. So he's straightened out pretty good so far, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, we found out, I guess about a year and a half after I was at Plattsburgh, and I was a major at the time, and she went over to have a biopsy taken of one of her breasts, and it was just a normal procedure. It wasn't a big deal. They were going to stick a needle in, and anyway, they found out she had cancer.
Yeah.
And it was pretty upsetting, obviously. And it had gone to her lymph nodes, and it wasn't like she was going to die in the next 3 days. Okay, she had a little time, but that kind of throws a monkey wrench into all your plans. But she hung on for 5 years. We went to Lawrence, Kansas. She did great. We went to Plattsburgh to Carsville, and she passed away at Carsville. There's approximately 5 years after she got sick, but there's some real advantages to knowing it's going to happen and being able to make some plans. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's some real advantages that all of a sudden happen immediately where you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time she went to the doctor to be x-rayed, we always worried it'd come back. And it did eventually come back. She had fantastic doctors, both military and civilian doctors. She was a real trooper, plenty of support all the way around. She gave a number of talks to women's groups about breast cancer. So she did a good job of serving her community. And she did pass away, I guess, the 11th of November, 1983. We were living on base, and I knew I was retired in 85. So we moved off base relatively quickly after that. We were at Carsville, we were on base, and we moved off base about a year later, because I didn't want to disrupt you guys. I didn't want to start another job or retire from there. I didn't want to do 3 or 4 things at the same time. So we tried to space things out. But anyway, we took her up to Pennsylvania. And I don't know if you remember this or not, Brian, but we got up there, went over to the funeral home. And because she went in the same airplane we went in, I wanted to make damn sure that was her. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went in and I gave you guys the choice. I said, you can go in or you don't have to go in, whatever you want to do. You chose not to go in, Brett went in. Okay. Which was fine. I felt more comfortable with that. So anyway, the day before the funeral, I took you guys around and we did absolutely everything that we did on the day of the funeral. We drove to the funeral site. We drove to where the church was. We drove all the way. This is exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. So I guess and when something is going to happen to a loved one, and you can kind of look out and have a little bit of time to plan. I really knew exactly what I was going to do when she passed. Okay.
Yeah.
from phone numbers to what I needed to do, who I needed to call. It was, I had it a lot easier than a lot of people. And, it, for a bad situation, people up there were absolutely wonderful. And I had some Air Force friends of mine that had known her, and they came they came to the funeral, and I was still I was still running at the time, okay. And so uh, uh, anyway, she's buried at a very, you know where she's buried, gorgeous cemetery, and I got 2 plots there, and I gave one of them to Jack, your uncle, and I said that that you can have that. He said, I'll pay you for it. I said, no way you're going to pay me for that. So anyway, that's where your grandmother's buried now.
Yeah.
So you do the right thing, and usually it comes back to help you. I've probably made more mistakes than any human being alive, but I have done a few little things that are okay. But the thing about it is, I never questioned one. We got back to Carswell. I never had any doubt in my mind that I could take care of you guys. You were 11 and 9. I didn't need anybody to help me. I did not need anything. I had a job that was very stressful, but I had a lot of flexibility in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to worry about a paycheck. I didn't have to worry about a lot of things that some little single mother that's worried about whether she's gonna be able to pay the electric bills or not. Okay. I had all that. So as a single parent, I had it absolutely made compared to some of these little single mamas that have to worry about whether the electric bill goes up $10 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, I was, and I'm of the opinion that actually a man that wants to raise kids can actually do it just as well, if not better, than a lot of time that women can do it.
Yeah.
So it was not a problem. I think the thing that I miss most of all is I didn't have anybody to talk situations over with.
Yeah.
You did, but I had a lot of support, a lot of nice people. I think they thought I was totally helpless until I finally convinced them that I could handle it. You guys did well, and I retired in '85, and I had a couple of phone calls. I could have probably gone to another assignment, the possibility of getting promoted. Of course, they always tell you that, hey, if you take this assignment, you'll get promoted.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to approach you guys. I wanted some stability. I wanted you guys to go to the same schools. So you went into the 7th grade after I retired. Brett went into the 5th, and it worked out great. I was in Fort Worth, Texas, where I wanted to be. If they had told me, we'll give you 4 stars if you'll move, I'd say you keep your 4 stars. I'm staying where I am.
Yeah.
I had accomplished what I wanted to. And so once again, I kind of look at myself as the guy that, just the opposite of the guy that walks around with a storm cloud over his head. I walked around, every time I fall in a pile of poo-poo, I come out smelling like a rose.
Yeah.
Been very, very blessed in every conceivable way. And I don't say that in a theatrical way. I mean it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so anyway, you guys did real well in high school. I didn't have to worry about you. And I got the job at Western Hills a year later as the ROTC instructor. They just opened up a unit there, and I interviewed, 10 other guys interviewed, a bunch of 4 colonels, and a guy named Quince Fulton, who was the principal at the time, hired me. I'll always be indebted to Mr. Fulton. He passed away, I guess, last month, September. And one of the best leaders I've ever seen. But anyway, I had a great time. Kids were unbelievable. I love the kids to death. I got a lot of confidence in the high school kids. 90% of them are fantastic. I don't care where they come from. 10% of them probably should be on a chain gang for a year just to appreciate what they have. But sometimes the parents can be a little rough, but the kids were fine. And I had a great time for 16 years.